1, 2, 3.
Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild.
Oh, that song brings back so many memories. Some of them wonderful, some of them not so wonderful. Let's bring in the not so wonderful right now. He's my longtime former partner of 16 plus years, and he joins us every week to do a little brunch with Bud. Let's welcome in the one, the only, Mr. Bud Poliquin. How are you, Bud?
Gentlemen, how be things with you two?
We be well. Wow.
I apologize. I apologize for my appearance, but I just couldn't get motivated to groom for this show. And
why not go for what was it, the Ravens? What was that old T-shirt that you used to wear to the studio right after you mowed? Did it say Ravens on it, or it was a bird? What was the bird? Come on, tell me.
That was Ravens, but
it was Ravens. Yes. What about it?
Had nothing to do with the Baltimore Ravens.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It was like some.
It was a baseball.
It was like some over 40 league baseball team that you were on. No, it wasn't.
No.
Oh,
no. We had.
What's the genesis of Ravens then?
Well, no one cares, but the genesis.
I care. Just answer the darn question. I'm here to ask the questions. You're here to answer the questions. So please, just answer the question. What's so hard?
I was the ramrod. I didn't like the idea that Little League baseball ended like in end of June, right? And so I thought it was ridiculous that
you started an alternate league,
yes,
and the Ravens were one of the teams. Is that what's about to come out of your mouth?
Yes.
Oh my!
So, but it wasn't in conflict with the Little League after the Little League season ended, and all these kids are putting their gloves away at the end of June. It's the summer game. They're barely out of school for the summer, and the baseball season for them is over. So I started this league in FM, and I had these shirts made up. They were really cool. I had a guy. I enlisted this guy who drew up all of the various team names and had individual logos. Like we had the Ravens, we had the River Rats, we had the Wizards, we had the Scarecrows, Prairie Dogs.
So can I just jump in here a minute and say, so you trying to tell me that back in the Little League days, in Fayetteville, Manlius, New York, where your son was playing Little League, that you were the Al Davis of Little League? You started a rebel league?
I was Al. It wasn't a rebel.
We're not doing it your way anymore. We're doing it my way.
No. See,
a rebel Little League you started.
By the way, Syracuse alum, Al Davis.
Is
it too early for me to ask if I can go now? Is it too early in the show for that?
Wow,
yes,
that was quick.
That's
a new record.
It was. I augmented the Little League with this other league. I didn't get anybody's away.
Sure. I'm sure you were. I'm sure the league officials who ran the regular Little League were extremely happy with you for everything that you're doing outside of their league parameters, without using their insurance and without putting any money in their pockets. I'm sure they were thrilled about that.
Insurance?
Yes, Little Leagues have insurance. I once served on a board of directors of a Little League. That Little League, by the way, won games, not like the Little League that you manage. Okay. Anyway,
another team with the Rhinos.
Winning, baby, in my league. Winning, we cared about in my Little League.
And I don't care about winning. I care about you play the game correctly.
Yes.
With respect.
Please remember.
The winning just comes automatically if you play the game correctly.
Except you never taught bunting, hit and run, stealing, the old pick-off play. None of that. Yeah. Just correctly. Gentlemen, get in front of the ball.
See the ball, hit the ball.
And get the glove to the ground.
Hit the cutoff, man.
Use 2 hands.
It's simple. See the ball, hit the ball. Hit the cutoff man. Throw strikes. That's it. You do that, we play, we win, we'll win more than we lose.
By the way, much to my chagrin, tonight's broadcast brought to you by our friends at Cam's Pizzeria, locations in Camillus, and for over 40 years in Oswego, where it is always love at first slice. We'll let you learn a little more about our friends from Cam's in just a little bit. All right, Bud, let's get serious. Okay, that's impossible, I'm sure, during our Brunch with Bud segment, but we'll try to get serious. I understand that you have a beef with the All-Star game. It's already come and gone. We've already all forgotten about it, but apparently it's still stuck in your craw. All right, so
Here's
what's
the
problem? What's the deal?
It's an
And please,
exhibition.
easy on the hands. Do not attack us with the hands.
It's an exhibition game. I have no problem with it ending in a tie. It's an exhibition game. You want to have a 9-inning game, and hopefully somebody wins at the end of the 9 innings. That's fine by me.
Okay.
I don't even mind that you have some sort of crazy like shootout, like they have in hockey or soccer.
Correct.
Or whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly
That
what
doesn't
it is.
bother me. That doesn't bother me. Okay? What bothers me, what insults, what little integrity an exhibition game has, is that you have, in this instance, Kyle Schwarber, who is served up, these massive meatballs, and he hits, in an exhibition
3 of them over the fence
of over swinging against meatballs.
Mm-hmm.
He hits 3 over the fence, and now the National League supposedly wins over the American League. Fine, don't care who wins or loses an exhibition game. What I think is an insult to, the what integrity the game does have, is that they gave him the most valuable player award, which is preposterous. Now, and just for example or comparison, Pete Alonso
should have gotten the MVP.
Also hit a 3-run homer. Schwarber hit 3 runs, 3 solos, blah, blah, blah. Against Meatball, serve him up beautiful pitches. Mm-hmm. Alonso, in a competitive element against the best pitchers in the American League side, hits a 3-run home run. Mm-hmm. At the end of the game, we're going to vote for the MVP, and they go to Alonso, and it goes to Schwarber and not Pete Alonso. And again, I used the word insane and insanity last week. That to me was insane, insulting. And what little caring I have for the All-Star game was blown out the window by that. What they should do going forward is as soon as the last pitch is thrown in the bottom of the 9th inning, at that point you vote. We're voting on the MVP of what part of this thing actually mattered. What happens in this ridiculous phony baloney nonsense with the home run derby afterwards should not be rewarded with MVP. Secondly, instead of doing this circus act of this home runs, next time, why don't you put your 3 outfielders, pick 3 outfielders, put them out in right field, and have them throw the ball to third base or home or whatever, and show off this tremendous skill of throwing with accuracy and speed and so on and so forth. And have judges judge however they want to judge,
10.
which is a better throw.
9.5.
I think
10.
That's way more exciting than hitting the ball over the fence off meatballs. Okay. It would be, and it's so boring. If you had the NBA All-Star game end in a tie and you decided with free throws, think how boring that would be. Well, home run derby to these guys with meatballs is as boring as a free throw contest. So anyway, It's silly, it's crazy, it's only an exhibition, and I get that. But let's vote at the end of 9 innings, and let's have a throwing contest by right fielders or outfielders, and let's see what kind of arms they have. And that would be oohing and eyeing rather than hitting goofy balls over the fence. There's my
2 things. Well, 2 things here, Bud. First off, you claim to be a baseball guy, no?
I do claim that, yes.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to make sure that point was established before question number 2 here. When you said that you had a beef with the All-Star game, I thought I had the temperature. I thought I had the pulse of where you were going to go. What about your sorry game that we get to this goofy, whatever you want to call it, to decide who wins? But you want to know what the choices were limited. Apparently, Aaron Judge already hit the road. Shohei Ohtani hit the road.
Yeah, these guys left the ballpark. Don't you have if you're going to have a problem with something, let's have a problem with that. Over the guys that stayed and hit a couple dingers to decide the darn thing.
So we're championing for fans. Wait a second, Bud. We're championing fans to pay their hard-earned money to go to this game, and the players can't bother to attend the entire event. Sorry, it's been a long week. We're dipping out. What the heck?
Did they really? I didn't know that.
Yes,
yes.
Well,
yeah,
that's
Judge was on a plane while Schwarber was hitting those home runs.
Okay, well, that's not cool. I mean, that's not
that's
fairly.
Not cool.
It's hard to defend that. But again, let's go back to the foundational point is that it's an exhibition game, and if you want to put more weight on it than that, then you can get upset with Judge leaving the ballpark. But exhibition game, he exhibited. Now he left. So I don't have. It's not cool. He shouldn't have done it. But at that point, really, I saw him swing in the first or second inning. He's out of there. Bye bye.
By the way, folks, this is at MC Show Digital, the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. Don't forget to like our video. You hit the little thumbs up. And don't forget, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at MC Show Digital on YouTube. All right, we're brunching with Bud Poliquin, and let's continue on our thoughts here. Let's do the silly next. From the sublime to the silly, Boy Green, at least in Bud's mind. So they do this thing with Super Bowl teams where they issue a ring as a trophy for the team that wins the Super Bowl. Usually it's very gaudy. It has diamonds. But this year's or last year's ring, which is presented this year for the Philadelphia Eagles, who won the last Super Bowl, this one's got some special stuff. Boy Green, why don't you play the video, show people what this ring can really do. Go ahead. It's wings, Bud.
Here you go. Let's throw up some images here. Here is the Eagles Super Bowl ring for their second Super Bowl championship that just occurred. This is the ring. Here's some ring details on carats and diamonds, and you'll notice that video showed what's
See it in the right picture there. The wings are
on the right side of your screen. There are wings that pop out by pressing a button on the ring, where Eagles wings and they pop right out there. So there are all the diamonds, Bud, and all the engravings and all of that, all that jazz. There's 10 points of diamonds, 18 gems. I mean, again, the numbers go on and on. Bud, isn't this beautiful?
You're dying to get one, aren't you, Bud?
It's hardly beautiful. It's garish. It's gross. We as human beings should be ashamed of ourselves. It's they say more is more. No, more is almost always less. And the more they do this, the less proud we should be of ourselves as a species. This is gross. First of all, if you've ever seen one of these things on a finger,
yeah,
it looks like a doorknob, on a finger. It's just totally ridiculous. So this impresses me not at all. If I was an Eagle and I got one of these things, I'd put it in a nice little box and stick it in a drawer and pull it out for the grandkids someday. But this is nothing I'd ever be proud to show off, and certainly wouldn't wear it in public. It's, first of all, it would look stupid, and second of all, it's a little bit more than a little bit obnoxious.
So, would you wear it inside the house like Floyd Little used to with his Hall of Fame jacket?
Yeah, right. He had the Hall of Fame ring and everything.
Just so you can remind yourself of how gaudy it is.
Never. That's so often I wear it. See, I'm not, again, and I'm not going to go nuts because we've talked about enough. There's too much worship at the altar of winning. And I'm certainly not going to walk around my room, my house, my neighborhood. Look at my hand. Look at my hand. Look what I did. I know what you did. I read all about it. I don't have to look at your hand. So, no, I would not wear it at home. No, I wouldn't.
Okay, Bud, I'd like to read you a quote from one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of all time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Jennifer Gardner's character, who is Allie in the movie Draft Day in 2014, where she says this quote: "How is it that the ultimate prize in the most macho sport ever invented is a piece of jewelry?" Your response to that?
Well, wiser words may have been spoken, but I can't think of any right now. That makes great sense because I assume she said that with some sort of either disgust or perplexity.
She did.
She's perplexed.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of gross. First of all, I'm not a jewelry guy too, because you got to remember that I've never had a wristwatch. I don't wear a necklace. I'm married, happily married. Don't have a wedding.
You've never had a wristwatch?
No.
In your life?
No, not that. No.
Your parents never even gave you one as a birthday gift, as a child, as a young adult.
Like I got a graduation gift with a watch. Yes.
Yeah. I got a high school graduation ring because that's what you got, but I never wore it. What?
Where is it?
Hey, look, I'm a high school graduate. I'm a high school graduate. Celebrate me. No. Come
The
on.
watch, I mean, it's functional. It tells time.
Yes.
I mean, it could
Yeah,
be a
quite.
Timex. It's not like
I
you got to
asked the
spend a
guy
ton
who's
of
got
money.
a
It
watch
doesn't have
on.
to
What
be
time is
naughty.
it? Everybody's got a watch. I don't need one. I just asked the guy next to me, what time is it?
Gosh.
No, I don't have a watch. Rings, bracelets, necklaces,
How did I not know that about you? after all these
piercings of
years?
any kind.
Wow.
I don't even want to know what piercings Boy Green has. I don't even want to know what he's got and where he's got it. Not at all intrigued.
I will plead the fifth on that one. By the way, Jennifer Gardner was talking about Dennis Leary's character, Coach Penn,
Yes.
who tried to sort of, mansplain and said, I didn't get this championship hardware for nothing,
Yeah.
showing off the ring. And that's when she sort of looked at him
She put him in his
sideways and
place.
gave him that
Yeah.
comment. Yeah, that was
You
for
put
sure.
him in his place.
So I'm not a trophy guy,
Okay.
ring guy. Come on. You know what you did. Why do you have to tell people and show people what you did? They read all about it. They know.
Wow.
All right, in shocking fashion,
Yes.
get off the ring talk here for a moment and move to trophies. The next greatest thing that the winners get. Scotty Scheffler, Boy Green knows this because in our fantasy draft, he did have that number 1 overall pick. And of course, he picked Scheffler, who's a robot.
Oh,
It's like
what a savant you are. What
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. He's like applauding himself. That the guy was so heavily
Wait,
favored.
bro.
I mean, all
I
of
have
us
no
said
idea.
we would have picked him if we
I
had
have no idea.
but he got it right. We got to give him credit. He got it right.
He got it right. You got a dog named Mookie who would have that right.
I
Okay?
honestly have to
Dog.
say though that despite the fact that I lost over this past weekend, our
You did.
little
Thank
thing,
you.
I am
Yeah.
so proud that I picked someone like Matthew Fitzpatrick, who no one would have picked, and the guy contended. He ended up finishing, I think, tied for 4th. Then I picked Terrell Hatton, that nobody would have touched him with a 10-foot pole, and yet the Manchild did. I'm very proud of the finish of my men, but they didn't get the job done because Scotty Scheffler is a cyborg. The guy is a cyborg. He is the Russian in Rocky. He is the Terminator in Terminator, all the Terminator movies. He's Schwarzenegger's character or Schwarzenegger's robot. Yeah, he's just a cyborg.
Lerch, my mind, real quick, my mind sort of like gets lost with my old age. When you said you had a golfer finish 4th, what prize do we give out for picking a golfer that finished 4th?
I'm still proud of it. I'm still very proud of it.
I see.
By the way, here is Scotty Scheffler holding up the claret jug, Bud. You can pour
Bud loves trophies.
Take it to the pub and enjoy.
Yeah.
Scotty will be taking it back to Texas.
Beautiful.
But is he a cyborg, Bud? Is Scotty Scheffler a cyborg?
Well,
that's my question of the day.
One quick comment before I answer that. The other thing, good thing I'm not a championship golfer, because when they say, hold up the trophy and kiss the trophy for us, I would refuse. I would say, well, I'll hold it up for you, but I'm not going to kiss it. I'm not, this isn't the golden calf. This isn't like idolatry here. I would not kiss a trophy ever. And they'd get mad at me, the photographers. I'd say, what do you want from me? I'm not going to kiss it. I'll hold it, but I'm not kissing.
What's your issue with kissing? You're not a PDA guy? You're not a public display of affection kind of guy?
I kiss, but I don't kiss trophies or rings or stuff. It's kind of, again, it's like, come
you're
on.
above that.
I'm above that. Okay, there it is. Okay. I'm above that. Yes, I am.
But you should say it's as disgusting as the golden calf. You kind of intimated that you would kiss the golden calf. You should not kiss the golden calf either. That was
what
bad.
Did I say? Yeah. I don't think I intimated that at all.
Yeah, you did.
Anyway.
You did. I'm helping you. Don't worry. I'm helping you out, man. I'm helping you out.
Anyway,
you said it's not the golden calf. That means you would kiss the golden calf. That's bad. In religion, that's bad, but
I got it. Now listen.
All right. Yes.
Now here's a question I have of you. Of course, he's like all you said, how great he is.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, you're Mr. Golf. Have you or anybody done the at this point in Tiger's career, was Tiger more accomplished than this guy or not? How far away from Tiger is he at this point in the career? I'm not talking about speculation.
I don't have all the numbers in front of me, but Scheffler now just won his 4th major. But he's a little bit older too. Paul, you could look it up real quick for me if you want.
Yeah.
I think he's like 26, 27.
He's 29.
Maybe. 29. Oh, wow. Even older than I thought. So he's already 29. Remember, Tiger was that crazy young prodigy.
Right.
So he's not on the same plane with Tiger in terms of how many majors he has at this point or but there are some interesting records about this period in time in which Scheffler has accumulated not just wins, but majors and also cuts made and some of the things that he's done. I've heard them laid out. I'm sorry I don't have any of the numbers in front of me, but there are some Tiger-esque qualities to what he's done in this much smaller window. So let's see it over a big window. Remember, Brooks Koepka got hot for a while. He's got 5 majors, I think, to his resume, and then he's completely cooled off. So let's see about longevity with Scotty Scheffler before we start comparing him to Nicklaus and Woods or anybody else.
Yeah, and I'm not going there. I just want to know in this, pound for pound, inch for inch, where is he at a comparable time in Tiger's now? Not so much chronological years, but in his tour years. I don't know. And the other thing too, you got to remember that even though Tiger is hardly a dinosaur, that I'm going to guess that the talent pool is deeper now than it was when Tiger came up.
It's arguable.
Just as it was when Tiger came up, the pool is deeper than when Nicklaus played.
Right, no question. It is. It's getting better and better, and there just are more players. They're coming from more parts of the world. Yeah,
They're better. They're better. They got.
By the way, here's a stat, guys, real quick. So during the broadcast of the British Open, the Open Championship on Sunday, NBC put a graphic up over an image of Scotty Scheffler, noting that it would be 1,197 days between when the 29-year-old Texan put on the green jacket in 2022 and then him lifting the claret jug at Royal Portrush for his 4th major title. The stunner is this: that's the exact number of days Tiger Woods required to win the first 4 of his 15 majors, from his first Masters title in 1997 to the Open Championship at St. Andrews in 2000. He did that at the age of 24.
Yeah,
so
that's a comparison.
Yeah.
But I will say this before people call, people correctly say, well, wait a minute now. I think if you give everybody today's equipment, they'd be better golfers. And if you gave Scheffler, wooden shafts and all that, he wouldn't be Scotty Scheffler necessarily. So I understand that equipment has a lot to do with this, but I also believe in athletic evolution. And I just think that athletically, physically, and maybe emotionally, psychologically, these guys today are better equipped to win tournaments than maybe other pools in previous eras. I could be wrong, but I just believe in evolution. I don't know why that wouldn't be true. Why would golfers be devolving rather than evolving? Same with basketball players, football players, baseball players.
And I can say this to somebody that watches a fair amount of golf and has watched it for a while now. The quality of shot to shot, player to player, I don't think has ever been better than it is right now. I mean, the guys that lost to Scheffler over this past weekend, the amount of good shots that they hit, I was like, man, that is phenomenal golf. And, they're not even getting a sniff of that trophy because this guy's a cyborg. He's a cyborg.
Not only is he winning, but he's winning over a deeper pool.
Yeah. And
he's winning fairly easily over that deeper pool.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Guy's good.
So the guy is good. I think that explains it.
Enjoy it. Enjoy that claret jug, Scotty. I'm sure.
But don't kiss it.
The wine tastes much better coming out of it, as long as it's been
Go stick it on a shelf and go play with your kid. That's what you should do.
By the way, I learned a couple of amazing, cool historical things. Okay. Let me share it. Well, all right, I'll share. Okay. I just don't want to repeat myself, but let me share this. Okay, so because the broadcast, I was listening to a lot of the radio broadcast, the audio broadcast, because at times during the tournament I was in the car, and they had this museum gal on who was dropping all these dimes of incredibly interesting history on the Open Championship. The oldest one this year was the 153rd, right? And this is amazing. So there's this guy, if you know anything about golf history, and for those of you that don't, it's okay. You don't have to know this guy. But there was a old Tom Morris and there was a young Tom Morris. Right. And these were the very beginning victors of this championship. Mm-hmm. And one of the rules that the committee that started the Open Championship came up with is if anyone wins the tournament 3 years in a row, they were going to give away to that golfer the prize that was being handed year to year and being give back at the end of the year, just like they do right now at the claret jug. And the original, if you want to call it trophy, the original prize for winning the Open Championship was a belt. Okay, was a belt. And
like WWE belt, like a championship belt?
No, probably not anywhere near that fancy, but it was some kind of belt. I have not seen pictures of it, although I bet you it's out there. If you want to go look it up, it'd probably be a cool thing to look up. So it was a belt, Bud. And young Tom Morris won it 3 straight years. And they had to give him the belt because the bylaw said if anyone wins it 3 years in a row, they hand the belt over permanently now to that person, and it's not coming back to the person the year after that. I think his third victory was in 1870. Okay, that's how far back this thing goes. In 1871, they didn't have an open championship because they didn't have a trophy. The belt was now in the possession of young Tom Morris, and therefore they didn't have the tournament because they didn't have a prize. And then in 1872, the committee began to try to figure out, because this was not a wealthy tournament and this was not a wealthy committee, how are we going to get there's the belt. Look at that crazy belt. Okay,
wow,
there it is.
Crazy.
All right, so young Tom commandeered the belt. It became his belt. Probably went to his grave with him. All right. And the committee was going to create a new belt, or they were going to create something else. And they also would give out, by this way, this gold medal, which is why they still say the gold medal golfer, because they've done that they did that with the belt all the way through the history. Okay. So they don't have it for a year because they don't have a prize to give away. The following year, the committee is going to do another belt. And then somebody comes up with the idea on the committee, why don't we do a trophy, a jug, and a claret jug, because everybody drank claret. It's a drink of some sort. I don't know what claret is exactly. All right. But I'm sure the Scottish know exactly what claret is. And they created the claret jug. And that's when it was created. So the claret jug wasn't even in existence at the beginnings of the Open Championship. It was created because young Tom Morris took that belt that I'm sure something that looks very similar, if not exactly what we're seeing there on the screen. And therefore, now the claret jug is the claret jug. And by the way, every golfer gets that claret jug for a year, just like the Stanley Cup team gets the Stanley Cup. They give it back, but they get a 90% replica, which they keep. So they actually get to keep their own slightly smaller claret jug. So Scotty Scheffler will inevitably have his own somewhat miniaturized claret jug, 90% to scale. There you go.
Well, now he's one away, Lerch, from the Grand Slam. There you go.
The PS, or the somewhat PS, when Dolph Schayes and the Syracuse Nats won the NBA title, and yes, boys and girls, Syracuse was in the NBA once upon a time, and won the NBA title. That was back in the 50s. The winners, the Nats players, each got an ice bucket for winning the championship.
An ice bucket.
An ice bucket.
And how about an ashtray as well? Why not?
And years later, Dolph said, I have no idea where that ice bucket is. I haven't seen it in 30 years. So trophies come and go, but the accomplishment, the memories of it, they stay forever.
All right, Bud, you have been on the pulse of a couple of right things where you've mentioned, this year, this guy. What year did the Syracuse Nationals win the NBA championship?
Well, that was, I should know this right off the top of my head, like I know a lot of dates and years.
Sure.
I believe it was 55.
I will give you credit. It's the 1954-55 season. Well done, Bud Poliquin.
There you go. Dolph Schayes.
Yeah, there are magical dates in Syracuse history. Obviously, 1959, the Syracuse football team winning its only national championship. 1955, the Nats winning the NBA title. So, yeah, there are a couple of those magical dates in history.
Yeah. These are all the players that are on this team. Dick Farley, Red Kerr, George King, Earl Lloyd, Dolph Schayes, Paul Seymour, Connie Simmons, Jim Tucker. Yeah, there you go.
And
they're all Bud's friends.
You know how many games that team would win in today's NBA?
Let me see let me see if they have the record here. Oh yeah, so their record back then was 43-29.
Well, they'd be whatever 43-29 is. Add that together, put a 0 in front of it. And that's how many games they win.
But why do you do this? Why are you such an ageist? Why do you hate old people?
They were the best team back then, but the game has changed. That I don't think they would. Okay, maybe I overstate to make a point. They wouldn't win in double digits. They might win 6 games. 8 games.
Come on, Bud.
They're not going to win 10 games in this league. No, not in this league. They won't.
Bud, were those Nats players nicer to you when you arrived in Syracuse with all that gravitas than Jim Boeheim was?
Did they invite you out to a golf outing?
Did you at least, get invited to like a company picnic or something, a reunion picnic of some sort? They said, "Hey, come on in, buddy."
I'll only say that I got along very famously with Dolph.
You did.
He and I were
Dolph
buddies.
is a very nice man.
Yeah, so he and I were buddies, and it's possible. There used to be, and I mean there is today. There's lions and hyenas, between the media and the sporting world, those in the sporting world, and it wasn't always like that, And we used to be able to get along, and we used to enjoy each other's company, and we used to trust each other, and that's almost non-existent now. Now, at the very top, again, the Bob Costases are different, okay, but you take away that upper 2, 3, 4%, and it's after that, you're looking at the lions and hyenas now, and that's really too bad.
All right, I got two more topics.
It doesn't have to be like that, but unfortunately it is.
All right, I got two more items I want to get to, Bud, but first let me just step aside here. Remind everybody that our broadcast tonight is brought to you by our friends at Cam's Pizzeria, with locations in Camillus and now for over 40 years in Oswego, where it is always love at first slice.
When you think of Cam's Pizzeria, think about two of your favorites, their zesty buffalo chicken wing pizza or their tasty chicken bacon ranch. Over 16 specialty pizzas made fresh daily with the best ingredients. Indulge in their homemade calzones, subs, wraps, salads, and their famous cannolis for dessert. They're all made with love just for you. Order online for 10% off at camspizza.com. Locations in Camillus and Oswego. Cam's Pizzeria. It's love at first slice.
I do have to ask you, Boy Green, how good was that slice that you were eating there in that moment?
Come on. That was the 40th anniversary special. So it tasted marvelous. And I'm looking forward to the 80-year anniversary when I'm pizza. It should
Is that
be great.
just straight up cheese there, or was there anything on that?
Oh, pepperoni pizza. That's the only way to have it. Any other. And I want to make this clear because, Bud, Lerch, you know what? But you get made fun of all the time. Lerch pokes at you about all this stuff he does. Here's something we can poke at about Lerch. You want to know what I didn't do to that slice of pizza? I didn't dab it with a napkin before I ate it. I ate it like a man.
Yes.
Okay? I
am a dabber.
However
It's
it came, and I ate it. Yeah, I see Lerch. We go out for pizza every once in a while. I see him going, dab, 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 dab. Dab. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Soaking up some of the oil, man.
Just disgusting.
Just
You either
soaking up
want
some
the
oil.
pizza or you don't. Okay, you either want the salad or you don't want the salad. Okay,
He's right, he's
commit
right.
or
He's
not.
really right.
Come on.
Do you have a dab, Bud, or no? You don't dab your oil?
I do not dab.
No. All right. Do you drip it off? Do you hold it up and let it drip onto the plate
No.
and then you throw it down?
I don't think I do that. No, I
You
think
just
I
consume it. All right.
I
I
think
gotta
I
keep my
eat
eye.
it.
The next time I see you eating pizza, we're together and you're eating pizza. I gotta keep an eye on that. I gotta keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
All right. And Boy Green, fold the slice. Fold it, my friend. Fold it. Okay? Fold it to eat it. Okay?
I'm sorry, we're not
Don't
in
eat
New
it
York.
flat.
New
Don't
York.
eat it flat and hold both hands. Come on.
Come
Be
on.
like a New Yorker, man.
Big
Fold
deal.
your pizza, brother. Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, the guy here on your left, he eats those hot dogs out of that sewer water, down in New York City.
Oh.
Sabrettes, baby. The best. Sabrettes. The crunchy
That's
dogs.
disgusting.
Love the Sabrette.
That's awful.
Just
Where's your
that brown, gray, ratty water. They pull out of there and he eats it.
All right. I know one of your favorite things over the summer months, Bud, is Boeheim's Army back. The basketball tournament, the $1 million back up for grab. Jim Boeheim, well, he's the coach, but not really the coach because he's not coaching. He's in the stands. And Alan Griffin is really the coach, but he was announced as the coach. I don't know what exactly is going on there, but he's a consultant of some sort to his now named team, that's been named after him all these years. So Jim and Julie were at the game. Some notable returnees, Bud, Raheem Christmas back and not wearing his trademark 25. There's a story to be discussed there.
Let's
Malachi Richardson in the fold. Chris McCullough playing for this squad.
Right.
Both of the Boeheim boys. I mean, come on, Boy Green. Tasty. I mean, it makes you want to run down to the SRC there at Onondaga Community College and take in the next one.
Last night, with friends, including and with my bride, I attended a show, a musical called Barnum.
Oh, I thought he was going to say called Boeheim's Army. No. Don't.
Oh, I was about to say beautiful.
Called Barnum. And it was the story of P.T. Barnum, who believed that a sucker was born every minute. And and
he built it into a world famous circus and made billions of dollars. I'd say a pretty smart guy overall.
So it was serendipitous that I saw that last night, and you're asking me about this thing, whatever it is that we're calling the basketball tournament, TBT.
Sure.
Now, I bow to nobody in my admiration for the people who had this idea and somehow turned it into a P.T. Barnum-esque success. This has no merit whatsoever, except that somebody's making money. And that's not a bad thing. You know, that's what we do here in this country. We're a capitalistic people, and somebody said, hey, I got an idea. This is goofy enough to maybe actually have people pay money to watch. Very P.T. Barnum-esque like. And watching that show last night, that theater show, and then hearing you guys talk about this, it's basically one and the same. This is nonsense. This is skins and shirts down at the Y, is what this is. You got guys who, there's nothing wrong with the fellas. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the guys. I'm sure they're good guys, and I'm sure they're trying to, make a buck and win this
Many
thing.
of them come all the way from Europe to play in this tournament.
Sure, yeah.
But why anybody would be interested really was discussed last night at my show in Auburn at the Rev. This is P.T. Barnum stuff. And I have zero. If I said I had zero interest, I'd be overrating the interest level I have in the basketball tournament. Now, again, I don't want people, maybe people are I don't mean to insult the players.
Well,
again, if somebody wants to roll out a basketball and play, I'm all for it. But I would have as much interest watching a skins and shirts game down at the Y as I would watching this stuff. And the idea that, they recruited players, or that who's the coach and who's this, and Jim Boeheim's in the stands. Come on, really? We got nothing else to do in this town than write about it, read it, talk about it, get happy if they win and sad if they lose.
Bud,
it's P.T. Barnum all over again.
You once wanted Jim Boeheim to put Jimmy on one arm and Buddy on another arm that year that the both of them were on the team and Jim was still the head coach, and walk off into the sunset. You said what a beautiful moment it would have been. So it didn't happen with Syracuse. Maybe at some point it happens here. Jim Boeheim puts his arm around the two boys and off they go into the sunset. It could happen. It could be poetic.
It could happen.
And a giant sack with $1 million in it.
And we might get a mini
carried by the two boys.
We might get something on HBO, or we might get a poem. I have, really, I could take a break and you two could talk about it. But I think I pretty much made my point.
I was watching the game the other day, and my significant other said, "Well, that Buddy Boeheim's pretty cute."
Well, there's something to be said about that. I stand corrected. There is some merit to this thing. We got a cute Boeheim out there playing basketball.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
All right,
Bud,
next subject.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I get this for you. Yes, here it is. I want to just make sure that no, never mind. You know what?
Wait a minute. And they played some outfit from Herkimer? From Herkimer? Playoffs. Practice.
Playoffs?
They want me to go to practice? They played Herkimer, and I'm supposed to care about it? What did they win by 40 points? Something ridiculous.
I think it was 26.
Yeah, Elam ending rules and all that, right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a little under 30.
Herkimer. We go from playing, the Indianas of the world in the Final Fours and all this kind of, the Kansas in the Final Fours, to now saying, wow, they beat Herkimer. And people expect me to take this seriously? I mean, come on.
Well,
Lerch, do you have anything else on Boeheim's Army here?
I don't.
Okay. My next thing is not Boeheim's Army really, but I just want a quick note because, Lerch had some interesting feelings over this the last couple of weeks. But if you were ranking the 10 greatest players in NFL history, would Lawrence Taylor make the list?
Yeah, I think he would, sure. If he's the greatest defensive player of all time, and there are people who make that argument, he certainly has to be in the top 10 somewhere.
Thank you. All right.
Now, I wouldn't say, by the same token, though, I can't use the same. Don't throw at me. Well, here's the greatest kicker of all time. Shouldn't he be in the top 10? No.
Right.
So let me ask you this. So this was my premise. See, Boy Green just keeps trying to put me in this pickle with Lawrence Taylor. I'm going to get a phone call in the next couple of days from Lawrence. He's going to be like, "I thought you were a Giant fan, Lerch. What is wrong with you?" I think the world of Lawrence Taylor, the football player. Okay. My thought was, if we were truly naming the top 10 all-time players in the NFL, I don't know, Bud, that I would get to a single defensive player by number 10, because obviously quarterbacks would dominate the list. Okay. There would be more quarterbacks than any other position. Would you agree with that? And if we didn't have to necessarily create a quota of some sort or say like, ooh, I have to get a defensive player in there just because I don't have one yet. Well, why? My argument was, why would we have to put any defensive player in the top 10?
Why would
I might be able to rattle off 9 quarterbacks and I might be able to rattle off 6 quarterbacks and 4 running backs and be done with my list. So
why don't you want to include a
contention I was making,
player?
Bud, that I wasn't going to stick a defensive player in there just to put one, including Lawrence Taylor, who I love as a Giants guy. Obviously, I love one. Lawrence, I love you.
First of all, both of these are opinions, and there's no right or wrong opinion. Well, there is a right.
No, there is a right.
There's an informed opinion. There's not then there's not an informed opinion. But I don't know if you literally can say that this opinion is factually wrong, whatever that opinion is, unless, of course, it's rooted in fact and it's wrong. Mm-hmm. So what you guys are saying, I think 2 views can can coexist. But I will say that there's sort of an old adage that if somebody is good enough to play offense, if the defensive guy was good enough to play offense, he wouldn't play defense. He'd play offense. Mm-hmm. So there's something to be said about the best players generally play on the offensive side of the ball. Now, am I saying that therefore Lawrence Taylor wasn't one of the top 10 football players of all time? I'm saying that if you're a good offensive player, you generally play offense. And if you can't play offense that well, you generally play defense. Are there exceptions? Of course, there are exceptions to all rules. But why are DBs, as an example? Because they can't catch the ball. Because if they could, they'd play offense. They'd be a wide receiver. There's not a DB out there who's a better wide receiver than he is than a defensive player. And we'll find this out with the kid. Who's the kid out of
Travis Hunter?
Yeah, we'll find out. Maybe he's the exception to the rule. But if you can catch the football, you're not asked to defend those who can catch the football. You'd be out catching the football.
So what about a pass rusher? What's that comparison?
Like I am not saying that Lerch is right or wrong, and I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I understand his position. I understand your position. And I said, yeah, I think you got to put Lawrence Taylor in the top 10 because he's the best defensive player of all time. Fairly a consensus opinion there. So, I put him in the top 10, but I could understand clearly what he's saying. I mean, look at you. If you said name in your top 10, which quarterbacks wouldn't you have? Last week you were listing, 20 quarterbacks. Which running back
I would put
if
I had this task was thrown to me, Paul.
Then I will yield. But this is why I say it's a lot of fun. The top this, the top that. When you put a finite number, that's ridiculous logically, intellectually, to say that there are only 10 top 10 players. There are probably 50 top 10 players.
Right.
So when I say, when you tell me,
it all depends on how you want to construct your list, right? I mean,
name the top 5 pitchers of all time. Well, I'll give you my 20 top 5 pitchers. You can't argue that.
How I would put so real quick on everything you just said, I reach that same conclusion. Okay, top 10 list. Is Lawrence Taylor one of the greatest defensive players of all time? Yes. Is he the best? You can make a case. Okay, boom. I've got him outside the list. I've got him in consideration for the list, and then I worked him into the list, and that's how it went. If I was putting the top 10 together, the question I would ask myself is, can I tell the history of the game with or without including this player? So like Tom Brady's and Joe Montana's that have the 4 rings and the 7 rings. All those guys made the list.
Rings again, bud. Wouldn't put Marino. Won't put Marino.
Listen, you can't. Okay, here's your top 10. You can't tell the history of football about these top 10.
Yeah.
Who's ever 11th? 11th? You can't tell the history of football without him either.
Out.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
again,
so
there would have
silly.
been 4 or 5 quarterbacks, and Lawrence Taylor would have made the list. Lurch hates
Okay.
Lawrence Taylor for some
No,
reason. I don't
stop
know
it.
why.
Knock
It
it
doesn't
off.
make any
He's
sense.
just trying to fan these flames. All right, just
No,
stop
but
it.
okay.
Stop
I've got one question for you, Lurch. I got one question. Okay? You said, well, I could name quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers all over for my top 10. And why would I just have to put a defensive player? And I ask you, why not put a defensive player? What is your bias against defensive players that, like, by nature they have to like prove themselves to you to even think about putting one in the top 10 list? How does that make any sense?
Well, number one, quarterbacks have the ball in their hands so much
Sure.
that you're just going to have a cavalcade of quarterbacks.
Okay.
So, how deep do you want to go? I mean, I can go pretty deep. I mean, okay, so let's go back to the list here a minute. Let's just construct a theoretical list here. Okay.
Okay.
So Brady, Montana.
Sure.
Okay. Marino, Elway,
No.
Unitas. But throw some others in. I know.
Let me just,
do you want to put Bart Starr on that list?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me just say something too.
We could get to 7 or 8 on quarterback alone.
But why any other positions? Okay, I get your quarterback argument, right? They touch the ball a lot. Okay, you want to fill your list with quarterbacks, fine. But why do running backs, wide receivers, and all these other names jump in your list? Then they're in the same category as defensive players. Then,
well,
may I just submit?
I don't know. I go ahead, bud. Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, here's what this will throw you for a loop. If you were to say, if the question is who are the top 10 football players of all time,
yes,
there might not be a quarterback on the list. They're the best.
Right, that's true. That's true. If you talk about athletic prowess.
Is anybody going to tell me that Joe Montana was one of the top 10 football players of all time? No. Maybe a top 10 quarterback, but a football
That's an interesting
player?
I never thought
of that.
That's fascinating. That's fascinating. In that case, Lawrence Taylor would be number 3 on the list or something.
Perhaps. But that's what I mean. Like, okay, go. So again, the quarterback thing, I get the quarterback thing. But then again, running backs, wide receivers are just like defensive guys. They're not the ones touching the ball 1,000 times. So, like, how is one above the other? I don't understand.
I guess my premise, Boy Green, is it's not so bad to be 11 or 12 or 13 on a list like this. Because if I give you 7 quarterbacks, which I probably could come up with, and then, where am I going next?
Defensive.
I'm going to go to Walter Payton. Okay. I'm going to look at Barry Sanders.
Why?
Because running backs, they're the way
because they play offense.
Walter Payton's numbers are so off the charts. Lawrence Taylor has wonderful defensive numbers, but he doesn't blow the field away like Jerry Rice does as a wide receiver. There are
Jerry Rice could be in the top 10.
Comparables, dare I say, to Lawrence Taylor. Reggie White actually has more sacks than Lawrence Taylor. He played longer than Lawrence Taylor. Now, stop putting me in I'm not going down this road. If Reggie White's better, are you saying that Reggie White's better than Lawrence Taylor? Like, I'm not going down that road. I'm just trying to state a case here. And that case is that Peyton, Rice, Jim Brown.
Peyton's out.
Jim Brown is not going
more numbers.
Jim Brown has to be, even though he doesn't even have longevity. He has to be on my list of top 10 all-time players. I don't know. It's just a perspective of how you're putting the list together. If you had parameters that said, okay, we got to fill, X amount here, we got to have a defensive player, then probably Lawrence Taylor would be my defensive.
You're just giving me a moving field goal post. You said the overwhelming numbers are it. You mentioned Walter Payton. He's not even first all-time in rushing yards. And then you mentioned, Jim Brown. Jim Brown's not first in anything.
Bud, help me. Please help me.
So where's the moving field goal post
help me,
here?
Bud.
Like, let's be consistent at least.
I will repeat. Your top 10 list it needs 50 players on your top 10 list. That's number 1. And number 2.
That's how you always do the power rankings, Bud. A, 4A, 4C, 4D. Every Tuesday, when I joined this godforsaken Bud of the Manchild show, I said, let's do NFL power rankings. And Bud would go, it's my 4C, my 5D. I'm like, what? 5 teams, man. 5.
And, to suggest, well, look, first of all, I think this is a circular conversation.
Yeah, it is. It's a circular.
Oh, there it is.
And I think we should probably move on. But if you are going to dismiss Walter Payton, who might be the greatest football player, the greatest player of the game of football ever, might be, if you say, there's no he was a football player, okay? Okay, beautiful. There, you've got that book. You
Reread
should
it, Boy Green. Reread it.
Yeah, reread it.
Please.
The guy caught, he blocked, he ran, obviously, he kicked, he was a field goal kicker. Walter Payton was a football
freak. He was a freak.
Player. So if you're saying top 10 players and you're going to dismiss him because he doesn't lead something in rushing, shame on you.
Well, that was Lerch's argument. Whoa. I just want us to swim in the right pool. Lerch said it's numbers. If it's numbers, it's not Walter Payton. There's a person that's rushed for more yards than him. So I'm just saying, what are the credentials for the list of the top 10? That's what I want to know, so we can all swim together. I'm all about swimming together.
This conversation needs about 7 empty beers in front of all of us.
Yeah.
And bowls of pretzels, because this belongs at the end of the bar. And people pretty soon come by and say, "Hey, fellas, enough! Get out of here."
Yeah,
okay,
just be quiet already. Pipe down.
Closing time.
Closing time. It's closing time on this discussion.
Yeah, and closing time on our session with you as well. He just keeps trying to bait the bear here. He's trying to alienate me to Giants fans. And
it's working great.
Lawrence Taylor personally. Lawrence, I love you. You're the greatest defensive player in the history of football. Okay, it's okay,
but not a top 10 player.
End of discussion.
Yeah.
Depending on how I would want to construct that list, you may or may not be.
On that note, I say ta-ta. Goodbye.
All right, Bud, thank you as always. Great to talk to you. Another edition of Brunch with Bud, as they say, in the books. Bud, thank you very much. And he's freezing anyway there, Boy Green. I don't know what's going on. He's freeze frame. Felt like we had to play the Jay Giles theme. Freeze frame. All right. I don't know. Bad internet connection or something there. All right. Final thoughts. Do you have any, Boy Green, before you put a nice, neat bow on this one?
Unlike my partner here, Jim Lerch, Lawrence, I know you watch the show. You are a top 10 player. You always have been. John Schmelk said that he texted Lawrence Taylor about this, and so
I'm so upset that I missed the John Schmelk interview last week, and I had to endure listening to you and Schmelk deface me. All right, without being able to defend myself.
Hey, here's the good news.
That was rough. The guy was sitting in the Giants podcast studios for crying out loud.
He was terrific. He was in the building, the Giants building, where, by the way, Lawrence Taylor was when they did the 100th anniversary year. They did interviews with all the players. So LT was in that room too. But I would just say this, that it's not the last time we're speaking to John Schmelk. Our Jets and Giants have a joint practice together here in a couple of weeks, Lord. Yes. So we'll be reconnecting down the road here with John Schmelk.
And I promise by the time that comes around, Lawrence Taylor will be in my top 10. He'll be on the list. And so will some other defensive players, because I'm mixing it up, baby. I'm not doing this anymore. I just done. I can't do this anymore. This is a losing argument. And I'm heading down LeBron territory here, man. I just got to stop this before the thing rolls down the hill anymore, Boy Green. It's
probably for the best.
Get me out, man. Get me out quickly. As the character Ralph Cramden, a.k.a. Jackie Gleason in The Honeymooners once said, I got a big mouth. That's what he said when he did something wrong. I got a big mouth. I'm a blabbermouth, Alice. A blabbermouth.
I'm looking forward to that conversation with John.
If I opened up a can of worms with that whole thing. Oh, gosh, John.
That will be beautiful. Another reminder, everybody, like the video, hit subscribe. Brunch with Bud Poliquin Digital has been everything I could have hoped it would be in this new era. So, wow, it's been a real treat.
I must say, it's the thing I least look forward to every week is chatting with Bud. But we'll do it again next week, believe it or not, because it's every Tuesday. Gotta love it. All right, that'll do it, folks. Thanks so much for listening. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe. At MC Show Digital is our YouTube channel. Please hook up with us there. That's the best place to do it. And you can see our other social media portals in the bottom right of your screen. Hey, and support all those wonderful sponsors, including tonight's sponsor, or I should say today's sponsor, our friends at Cam's Pizzeria.